This is the latest edition of The Roundup, boys and girls. So welcome on my little peaches, pumpkins, and pears. Happy to have you here with us, and we have got a great show lined up for you guys. We've got about 4 little dum-dums. We're going to dumb it down for you into about 10 minutes, tell you all that you need to know, all the latest happenings and storylines on the baseball and softball fields right here in North Central Ohio. We're going to tell you what's going down in softball when tournament play opens up. They voted that just yesterday. And then also we're going to tell you about the latest races in the MOAC, OCC, as well as the Northern 10 in baseball. That's where we begin today. We've got G-Man and Storm standing by. They're going to begin with the Pack of Eagles.
Thank you very much, Brian Skowronski. Welcome to everyone's favorite segment, the Double Play. Storm Bluntschly joined by the illustrious Garret Pineapple Parlett. And Garret, I heard you in your hometown of Worcester checking out some of their baseball.
Yeah, Storm, the Generals dominated the Mansfield Senior Tigers about a half a fortnight ago. They can clinch the OCC later this week. Elijah Steiner had a perfect game in that one through 12 Ks as well. Mansfield Tigers bats could not keep up with Worcester's offense as they routed the Tigers 10-0, and Chris Franks had a huge 2-run bomb.
And I was over in Bucyrus country where it was a little bit of a shocker where they dominated Colonel Crawford 11-1 to take the lead in the conference. It's a 4-team race over there, but I know a lot of people were shocked about that. It's like Colonel Crawford just kind of forgot how to play a little bit, and Bucyrus came out and took advantage. But moving right along with more softball, I heard you were back at your alum once again.
Yes, from Crestview, softball went on the road and beat a tough Hillsdale team 7-0. Crestview got it done defensively. Kylie Ringler, of course, on the mound, dominating per usual, and the bats were on their side. Lindsey Tim had a few RBIs as well as Kristen Kreider. But earlier that week, Crestview did take their first Firelands Conference loss to Monroeville on a walk-off. They have a big series coming up against Mapleton later this week.
Moving right along with some more softball, I had Ashland on the pallet. They're sitting at 15-5, and they had a come-from-behind win over Madison. They were down 2, put up a bunch of runs. I believe it was 9 runs through 3 innings, so it was an incredible comeback win for them to definitely give them some momentum, and I think that this is the time where they need it. But that's going to do it for the Double Play. I believe Brian Skowronski is going to come steal the show, and I think he's got a little bit of a special announcement.
Yeah, that's right. Big game coming up this week. You can actually see both of these games on the OH report here. Wednesday night, you talked about Bucyrus softball. They've got a huge one at their place. Upper Sandusky's coming to play them. They are 1 game back of the Lady Red in the standings. They'll turn around and play the very next day on Thursday night over in Ram Country. So those 2 games probably going to determine a winner. Looking forward to that. But that's it for the Double Play. You both are out. I'm going to round third, head over, talk to Travis. Wrapping up the Double Play, and I find Big League Berardi over here, and Trav, nice cut right there. Who's going to be making some cuts when they get into the softball tournament? I know the draw went down last night. Tell me about some of the matchups that you're most interested in.
Well, in D2, top seed Lexington, the OCC leader, Bellevue second, Clear Fork third, Ontario fourth, and then Madison fifth. I think Madison, even though they're a 5 seed, they're one of the teams to look for. They beat a team like Massillon Perry. They beat Bucyrus earlier in the year. They take on Mansfield Senior in a sectional final. They'll get the winner of most likely Lexington, Ontario. So I think they have an easy path to a district final, possibly. Also, Clear Fork, they're another team that can turn some heads. They're at the bottom of the bracket. They'll take on Bellevue possibly in that district semifinal. So, Madison, Clear Fork, they got a big doubleheader coming up on Saturday. So that could determine maybe, who's the front runner for a possible district championship, and I like the lower seeds. In Division 3, Huron 1, Edison 2, Colonel Crawford 3, Crestview 4, and then Bucyrus, the leader in the Northern 10. They're the 5th seed, surprisingly, right now. So I think Bucyrus, they have a good chance of being a low seed and making a long run. Colonel Crawford, they're going to be biting at the bit in possibly a district semifinal to knock off Bucyrus after getting swept in the Northern 10. Then you have the likes of Huron, Edison, and even Margaretta at 6. Those are teams that are always in a district semifinal and final. So,
and from talking to our boys, who obviously went to Crestview, they said that they just almost always seem like the Cougars get a tough matchup right out of the gate. They might have to play the number 1 seed right there to start off the district, so it doesn't get any easier for the Cougars. But this could be their year, Travis. I like them as a number 4.
I mean, they have a great pitching staff. They just knocked off Hillsdale, who is a perennial power as well. So, it's balanced, but there's a lot of teams that can do some damage there from 1 to 6. Moving down to Division 4, you have Monroeville number 1, Mohawk number 2. They're also in the race for the Northern 10 Championship. Plymouth 3, We have St. Paul 4, and then the Lucas Lady Cubs, the 5th seed. It's a very balanced bracket, just like the boys bracket. We said, top 4 seeds, one of them is probably going to win it. That's the same here in the softball bracket. And then back in Division 1, Ashland, they're a 5 seed. They take on Toledo Notre Dame Academy, and if they win, they'll take on the winner of number 3 Toledo Whitmore and Bowling Green. So Ashland, they got a good pitcher. They have a really solid squad in the OCC this year, so we'll see if they can make a run.
Yeah, Division 2, Division 3 seems like it's wide open. A lot of talent in there. So those are 2 brackets that I'm really looking forward to covering as we get back into the tournament trail. What do you got for me for baseball this week?
I was at a marathon game earlier in the week, Ontario and Clear
Is it over?
Fork. It's not. It is not over. They have to continue the game. It went 11 innings. It's tied at 10 right now. They had to delay it because of darkness, and they're going to make it up sometime here in the next couple of weeks. But Clear Fork goes out 3-0 early on. Ontario answers with 5 runs. They capitalized on some errors to take the 5-3 lead. Clear Fork comes back, ties it. Ontario again capitalizes on a couple errors, makes it 8-5, and then Clear Fork just chipped away. They scored 1 in the 6th, and then with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, Ben Blueball with a 2 RBI single tied everything up. Ontario immediately answers in the 8th with a run. Clear Fork comes right back with a run to tie it, and then in the 10th inning, Ontario takes another lead. Clear Fork right back at you. These are 2 teams fighting for a MOAC championship along with Shelby, and it could determine once they finally finish this thing off. Clear Fork still has to play 2 games against Shelby as well, so maybe that game's made up after it. That could determine who wins, who shares everything in the MOAC.
It seems like the more we find out about the MOAC, the less that I know, Travis. But I know that there's some big games going on tomorrow on May 4th, so may the force be with you. And now we're going to head over, wrap things up as we round third, head for home. Rounding third, and they're waving me home, and here we are. I found this nice pack of bing bags waiting for me, and hey, we have got some great things that we saw last week. Storm, what was the best thing that caught your eye?
Oh, the best thing for me, Ashland, the Arrows, once again, I know I like to rant and rave about them a lot. Started off a little slow through 5 innings. Madison really had their number. They give them a pillow and blanket. They were a little asleep, but hey, just like Drizzy, like Drake, they flipped the switch, really turned it on, put up 7 runs in 2 innings. Very impressive performance. A come from behind win for them, so that's got to be my performers of the week.
All right, G-Man, what really caught the apple of your eye?
We went out to Colonel Crawford and seen the freshman sensation, Micah Thomas. He had the game-tying RBI, got a double off that, and then would later go on to score and get Colonel Crawford another big N10 win against Seneca East.
And I'm pretty sure that Micah Thomas has the record for most MVP performances on the OH report. Just a freshman. Unbelievable stuff. What about you, Trav?
Got to go back down to American Legion Field, that game between Ontario and Clear Fork. It was like a district game. Nobody wanted to lose, and nobody's lost yet because that game got suspended after 11 innings due to darkness. But Ontario had to lead 2 outs in the 7th inning. Ben Blueball, a big 2 RBI single, tied it up. Ontario goes in the lead twice in 2 innings and extra innings. Clear Fork answers with the tie. So, big game for both those teams as they both fight for a conference championship.
I want to put a little bow on this by kind of wrapping it all together in one little dish here, Travis, because nobody wanted to go home on Saturday night at the prom that we were at because we were playing a little bit of Drizzy. He was turning up the juice, and then some of the teammates of Micah Thomas were doing it on the dance floor. How about the Colonel Crawford Eagles at the prom? It was the first time OH Report had ever DJ'd before, and all the feedback that we got was positive. We know that we certainly enjoyed ourselves. It looked like the bulk majority of the Eagles out there that were flapping their wings on the dance floor were enjoying it too. So shout out to all of them for allowing us to come into their little dojo there and put on a party. And that's how we're going to end up things today. Travis didn't get to come, so I'm going to give him the slow dance, and he never got at his senior prom. And we'll see you next week right here on the Roundup.